What is cuckooing? An early years safeguarding guide. Have you ever heard of cuckooing? It's a word that might not mean much to you at first, but in the world of safeguarding, it's something that every nursery needs to take seriously. Cuckooing is a hidden threat that can creep into even the safest of environments, and if it's not addressed, it can put vulnerable families, staff, and even the children in your care at risk. But what is cuckooing and how can you effectively safeguard your children from it? This is what we'll discuss in this video, but first, welcome to the channel. Welcome to the channel Open Nursery with myself, Kurt Lianya, where I support you to open, run and grow your own childcare business. If this is your first time here, make sure you subscribe as I post lots of videos all around the topic of childcare, including important safeguarding topics like what is safeguarding or what is county lines. So if you're unfamiliar with these concepts and want more support with it, then make sure you subscribe. Safeguarding in nurseries isn't just about keeping children safe. It's about creating a secure environment for everyone, families, staff, and the community. And while most of us are familiar with safeguarding practices like child protection and fire safety, newer threats like cuckooing are becoming an important part of this conversation. Cuckooing is a form of exploitation that can target vulnerable individuals connected to your nursery, and it's something that every childcare provider needs to understand. Today we're going to talk about what cuckooing is, how to recognize it, and what you can do to protect your nursery or other childcare provider from this growing concern. So let's get straight into it. So what is cuckooing? Cuckooing at its core is a form of exploitation. It happens when criminals target vulnerable individuals and take over their homes to use them for illegal activities such as drug dealing or storing weapons. The term comes from the behavior of the cuckoo bird, who lays its eggs in the nest of other birds, tricking them into raising the cuckoo's offspring. In the context of nurseries, cuckooing takes a more subtle but equally harmful form. Vulnerable families, staff members, or even nurseries themselves can be exploited. For example, a family struggling with financial hardship or substance abuse might be coerced into storing illegal items. Staff members facing personal difficulties could be manipulated into granting access to unauthorized individuals or providing sensitive information. Understanding this form of exploitation is crucial because it compromises the safety of the children, families, and those connected with the nursery. Recognizing how cuckooing works is the first step in protecting your community from its harmful effects. Cuckooing in nurseries does not happen overnight. It's often a gradual process where criminals exploit vulnerabilities within the nursery community. One common way it manifests is through families who are already struggling with things like debt, addiction, or domestic abuse. Criminals target these families knowing that they may lack the resources or confidence to fight back. They might use their homes to store illegal items, conduct drug deals, or as a meeting place for illicit activities. The connection to the nursery provides a shield of legitimacy as these families appear to be a part of a normal, caring community. Staff members can also be drawn into cuckooing, particularly those who are dealing with personal issues like financial stress or an abusive relationship. A staff member in a vulnerable situation might be coerced into sharing sensitive information about the nursery, such as the layout, security measures, or routines and schedules. In extreme situations, they could even be manipulated into granting access to unauthorized individuals. Sometimes the nursery premises itself might be a target. For example, a secluded storage area could be used to hide illegal items, especially if the nursery is in an area with limited surveillance. This type of exploitation can jeopardize both the safety of children and staff, and it can undermine the trust that families place in your nursery. Recognizing these patterns early is essential for taking action before the situation escalates. Spotting the signs of cuckooing requires vigilance and an understanding of what to look for. Families being targeted might display sudden changes in behavior. They could become secretive or anxious, particularly when discussing their home life. You might notice parents or guardians who previously seemed confident now appearing withdrawn or overly worried during drop-offs and pickups. In children, sometimes signs of neglect can indicate that a family is under pressure. So you might notice unexplained absences, a lack of proper clothing, or frequent tiredness, which can all be red flags. Children may not directly communicate what is happening, but their behavior often reveals more than what words can. Staff members too can show signs that something is wrong. If a usually outgoing and reliable staff member starts showing up late, becomes withdrawn, or unusually stressed, it's worth paying attention to this. Sudden financial financial changes, such as a staff member appearing to have extra money that they can't explain, or conversely struggling with unexpected debts, could also be a sign of trouble. Unfamiliar individuals hanging around the nursery or making frequent visits to families or staff is another red flag. If you notice unusual patterns of behaviour such as these, visitors or families being overly interested in nursery operations or schedules, then it's time to investigate further. Recognising these signs early and documenting them is key to safeguarding everyone in the nursery. Preventing cuckooing requires a proactive approach to safeguarding. Training staff and providing them with information about cuckooing is critical, so sharing this video to them would help. Every member of your team needs to be aware of what cuckooing is and the signs to watch out for. Regular workshops and discussions can not only help build awareness, but also the confidence in spotting and addressing concerns. Staff should also know the correct procedures for reporting any suspicions. Having clear and robust policies in place is essential. These policies should cover everything from visitor access to data protection and what to do in the event of a suspected exploitation. Make sure that these procedures are regularly reviewed and that staff are comfortable with following them. Building strong relationships with families is equally important. When families trust the nursery, they're more likely to share concerns or ask for help if they are being targeted. Safeguarding doesn't happen in isolation. Nurseries should build strong relationships with the local authority, law enforcement, and social services. These agencies can provide additional support, resources, and training to help nurseries manage complex safeguarding issues. Regular communication with external safeguarding teams, like a local safeguarding children's board, can ensure that nurseries remain updated on potential risks in the community and how to best address them. Working with these agencies can also provide nurseries with access to resources like counselling for affected families or intervention strategies for staff who may be at risk. Safeguarding is everyone's responsibility and it's a team effort, and building these networks helps to strengthen your ability to protect everyone involved with your nursery. The role of security. A secure environment is a fundamental part of safeguarding. Nurseries should implement controlled access systems such as a keypad or keycard entry to ensure that only authorized people can enter the premises. Security cameras can act as both a deterrent and a tool for monitoring suspicious activity. You should also implement a visitor log system to keep track of who is coming in and who is going out. Regularly review the physical setup of your nursery. Look for potential vulnerabilities such as secluded areas or easy access points and address them promptly. Even small changes like improved lighting around the building or trimming back bushes that obscure entrances can make a significant difference in deterring unauthorized activity. Safeguarding isn't just about preventing incidences, it's also about providing support. Vulnerable families and staff members need to feel that the nursery is a safe place where they can seek help without judgment. Offer resources such as information about local support groups, helplines, or financial assistance programs. For staff, consider implementing an employee assistance program that provides counselling and support for personal issues. Creating an open and supportive culture within your nursery helps to reduce the risk of cuckooing by making it harder for criminals to exploit vulnerabilities. When people feel supported, they are more likely to speak up and seek help before a situation escalates. If you suspect cuckooing, it's essential that you act swiftly and responsibly. Document your concerns clearly, including dates, times, and specific observations, and share these with your designated safeguarding lead immediately. The designated safeguarding lead will then assess the situation and determine the appropriate steps, which may include involving external agencies. It's important to remember that your role is not to investigate, but to report and support. Let the professionals handle any interventions while you focus on maintaining a safe and stable environment for the children in your care. Be prepared to offer ongoing support for any individuals affected, whether it's the family or a staff member. Cuckooing is a serious issue that underscores the importance of strong safeguarding practices in nursery settings and other childcare providers. By understanding the risks, recognizing the signs, and implementing comprehensive prevention strategies, nurseries can not only protect the children in their care, but also the families and the staff which make up their community. Safeguarding is everyone's responsibility, and with vigilance, collaboration and compassion, we can ensure that nurseries remain safe havens for growth and learning. But I want to thank you for watching. If you found this video useful, please do hit that like button and share it with anyone else that you think could benefit from learning about what cuckooing is. Before you go, don't forget to subscribe and click one or two videos here to continue learning. God bless.